This morning I changed my routine. So usually Mondays and Fridays I'm at the McAllen Municipal Park playground at 5:30 doing a Navy SEAL stretch PT, and I try to get people to participate, and I haven't done that, so I've been doing it by myself. And so this morning, the first thing I did is I prayed for 25 minutes, and I haven't done that. I've been trying to make that part of my routine, just like I've been trying to make writing down, um, my goals, you know, accomplishments I want to achieve for the next day before I leave my desk every day. And I finally did that. So I'm finally making the habits happen that I want to make happen. And got my workout in and got to my appointment on time, and you know everything was everything was good. I was listening to um, a video this morning about, and just out of the blue, unprompted, it just popped up on my feed, so I watched it. And they were not selling anything, but they were talking about how science will can be skewed by people with agendas, industry that's contracted scientists to do certain studies. And I'm like, oh my God, I saw this happen. There's a lady, and she's amazing. Her name is Lena Vandy Stapp. She's a computational biologist, and she was an intern working on a study for the genetic predisposition for alcoholism. And the project manager was trying to push her to make a claim that it was in fact genetic, and she couldn't do that. And she finally got fed up with that, and I hooked her up with Farm Intelligence, and she became their analyst. And she's got a lot of knowledge about um, spectral, you know, multispectral cameras and hyperspectral cameras, and that kind of information. And she's very intelligent. She knows tons about the human genome and all that kind of stuff. But she also has very high ethical integrity, and she refused to skew the data. And so when I'm, you know, there's studies that say that, that people's attitude toward a placebo experiment can actually have an effect on the outcome of the experiment based on their attitude. Now, that could be, is that, that their energy is causing the bacteria or whatever to function a certain way, or is it, they're trying to. It's like when you play a Ouija board. Okay, everybody with their hands on the board, and everybody's kind of trying to influence it without being too apparent on what letters that they're gonna that it goes to spell out whatever it spells out, and same kind of thing, like almost identical. All right, and so is it this energy that's manipulating the bacteria or chemicals in an experiment, or is it somebody's looking for a way to push the outcome in the way they want it? So I saw a video this morning. Yeah, she's a super smart lady and high integrity. I can't promote her enough. She's amazing. Lena Vandy Stapp in San Diego, California. She's amazing. The With that said, I had a situation um, in the last year. I sell cleaners, degreasers, sanitizers to produce warehouses in the Rio Grande Valley. And in the last 4 months, about 8 of them that have been telling me no for a year are now telling me yes. And it's phenomenal. The couple of things, I just keep coming in smiling, and they give me a shot, and then they see how well the product does, and they're like, the cost, and they want to save money, and they want to have better, have the product do a better job, and now they buy from me. Okay, and then there's things that are changing in the industry. Some produce warehouses, to cover their butt, because everybody's so paranoid about pathogens, E. coli, Ebola, Listeria, Salmonella, that they'll put chemical on their produce to kill whatever bacteria that it's you know, before it leaves the door. So they are covered their butt, so they're pretty sure it's clean before it leaves the door. Well, some of these chemicals are kind of harsh, and you should never put chemical or even water, because there's bacteria in water that could, you know, contaminate your produce before it leaves the warehouse. Well, there's evidence that UV light can kill the pathogens and mold and algae. And so they came to me. I used to be the estimator for LED City in Dallas, and they were one of the first LED. So they had the first OEM over in China making LED lights, and their owner goes over there every month and stands over their shoulder to make sure they do things the right way, because the Chinese are known for cutting corners. If you order a floodlight and it's got a deflector plate on it, and you open it up and you see that there's 3 screws holding in the deflector plate, you got a bonus screw, because they're cutting corners any way they can. But this guy, goes over there and makes sure that they're doing everything right. And so they furnished a strip of LED UV lights to the university, or New Mexico State University, and they're evaluating these lights for killing yeast, mold, and the pathogens. And they already know that it'll do it, because they're using UV lights that are not LED, and it's working. And so it's not going to have any different effect because it's LED. So that's going to change a lot of things in the industry, which is kind of cool, because I'm right here on the pivot point of that. So I'm very excited about all this. It's that the people that say no is part of how you handle a no, is all part of building rapport. And that's why you got to get used to people saying no. And as long as you're confident in your product or your service, you win. You win eventually. When they start seeing, they get to know you a little bit. They start seeing your pattern. They start seeing, that you're ethical and that you're focused in the right direction, or you develop that rapport, they will give you a shot. And then if your product performs, they don't even care why, as long as it's a better price and it does a better job, and then they're sold, and that's all there is to it. But that no is, you got to see it. My son is one of the top salespeople for Tesla in San Diego, California. Like, he's number 2, all right? And he has this uncanny ability to get people to say no, to say yes, especially when it comes to solar. And he's like, oh, okay, and but can I ask you a question? And I don't know exactly what he says, but he ends up getting them to say yes. He's got this uncanny ability to get people to say no, to say yes. And I wish I could take credit for his ability to do that, but the thing is, he's just not afraid of the no. And that's what makes all the difference. That's why he's doing what he's doing, how he's doing so well, with them, and it's exciting. But as long as you're confident in your product and your service, and even if somebody does say no, right, it just means it's no, not right now, or no, I don't know enough to give you an answer, all right, or no, I don't know you well enough to have that kind of relationship.